What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the 5 O'Clock Hustle podcast, where we speak with some of the brightest minds in business and entrepreneurship. This is episode 15. Now, if you didn't hear last episode, we recently partnered with one of my favorite companies of all time, and that's Four Sigmatic. I've been a longtime fan of their products, and right before I recorded the episode you're about to hear, I actually had one packet of their cordyceps coffee plus one packet of their lion's mane coffee, and together they formed this super coffee, and it gave me all the clarity and energy I needed to have a great podcast. And I really think you're going to like it. So everybody go and try it out. But right now it's pretty late, and if I have any more caffeine today, I'll probably stay up much later than I probably should. And hustlers have to periodically sleep too. So if you're ever in a situation like that, like the one I'm currently in, and you still want to reap the health benefits of Four Sigmatic products, then try out the elixirs. Right now I'm drinking the Reishi elixir, and Reishi is an excellent choice for restless nights when you have to get up early and grind the next morning. So everyone go and try it out. And right now we're having a little giveaway. So go to 5o'clockhustle.com/mushroom coffee, and you'll find out how you can get a free sample by just simply signing up for our newsletter. And then if you go a step further and review our podcast and share that review on Instagram with hashtag 5o'clockhustle, then you can actually enter to win the mega giveaway that we put together with Four Sigmatic. And there's over $200 worth of their products in there. And if you've already entered to win, remember you can also use code 5o'clockhustle at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your first order at foursigmatic.com. All the links are in the show notes. Go and check it out. Now that we got through that, let's get to our guests. As you know, we like to interview people in all industries and all walks of life, whether you're a highly experienced success case or you're a young, promising startup looking to make your mark. Well, this episode's guest would be the latter, and these two are ready to take the bacon industry by storm. We had power couple Lauren Keys and Sean Etesham of Quant's Bakery. They came to talk about their burgeoning startup that was spawned from a business program out of Cal Poly Pomona, and that's out of Southern California. Sean and Lauren are two highly intelligent young entrepreneurs. They've taken their values of living healthy, sustainable lives and injected their baking skills to create a unique customer experience that delivers delicious milk, egg, and butter-free cookies right to your doorstep. In this episode, we talk about their experience of being student entrepreneurs, the dynamics of running a business with someone you're in a relationship with, and then they go into detail about their mouth-watering vegan products. To some, that may sound like an oxymoron, but they brought their cookies to the recording, and it was like having a cookie for the first time. I love them. You're going to love them. And they go great with Four Sigmatic mushroom coffee. Now I'm going to try something out. If you're a young startup like these two, I'm going to throw up a form on the website where you can tell us about your business, and if we think it's cool, we'll promote it just like we are right now in the intro. So if you go to 5o'clockhustle.com/corkboard. Now, I'm not going to lie, I stole that from Chris Hardwick, but it's a great idea and I'm going to roll with it. So yeah, go to 5o'clockhustle.com/corkboard. Tell us about your business, and we'd love to promote what you're doing. Okay, everybody, let's go. Keep hustling, and Dre, start the show.
5 o'clock hustle.
5 o'clock hustle, bro.
5 o'clock.
5 to 8, 5 to 12, 5 to 3 until you get back up the next morning.
Every week I got a new idea.
And that's what it always is, right? It's crazy.
5 o'clock.
I was doing that in 2005, but everybody thought it was weird.
5 o'clock.
Thus, the side hustle was created.
5 o'clock hustle podcast. Man, they're having so much fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
So tell us your deepest, darkest secrets.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Just kidding.
All right, so
This
tell
isn't Howard
everyone.
Stern.
Yeah, so welcome to 5 o'clock hustle.
Yeah.
Tell everyone who you are. Introduce yourselves.
Go ahead.
Here, we'll point. Here you go.
I'm Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
I'm Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. And what's your company?
Quants.
Quants. Awesome. And we were discussing earlier, quantsbakery.com is the place you can go after you hear about how amazing their products are. So what is it that Quants does? What do you guys do?
We make baked goods that are 100% plant-based, so that means they contain no animal products whatsoever.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
incredible. And why do you do that? Like, what I guess what made you do it, or who do you feel, why? Just what's your why?
Well, I myself have been living a plant-based lifestyle for the past 4 years.
Cool.
So I don't eat any honey, no milk, no eggs, no dairy, none of the meat or anything like that. I'm gonna say it was tough at first.
Sure.
I used to really love cheese.
What about were you ever a carnivore? Like, were you eating meat or?
Oh yeah, I was a big time meat eater.
Okay.
you
And most
know?
people with that statement, they would have said, I really loved eating like a big juicy steak. And you're like, I really loved cheese.
That was the last thing that I gave up was cheese.
Okay.
It was easy for me to give up steak.
Mm-hmm.
But the cheese, man, pizza, cheese pizza.
Oh, that's true. But you do.
Well, now there's vegan cheese,
yeah, I
right?
know, especially where we live.
Yeah.
Do you
got a
do
lot
vegan
of-
cheeses?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some really good ones. There's some Gouda cheeses that are like perfectly smoked.
Oh yeah, you're getting. See, so you still have like cheese cravings.
Oh yeah, I'm dreaming of that Gouda right now.
Oh my god, the Gouda is good.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've always been one of those people that kind of experiment with different types of eating habits and things of that sort. None of them ever really stick because I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's the way I was brought up, but like, I like trying different things, and you know, I like trying the vegan diet for a time, and it's something I'll probably explore again in the future. But being stuck in like one single mold it's not one of my strongest traits, I guess.
Yeah, and I just am in denial about any food that I put on my body that's not good for it. So I'm gonna stick with that one. I guess that's a lot of people. So you said
unless
for 4 years.
unless of course there's more delicious treats like this that we can supplement our terrible eating habits.
No, I'm still not. Even I will supplement. Yeah, supplement's good. Change. No. but there's no reason for me not to have these delicious treats in front of me, so I will definitely do that.
They definitely rival any cookie that I've ever had that
Totally.
has the stuff that, you know, these things don't. And that's a really cool journey that you guys have gone on so far to make these delicious products.
Yeah,
So,
say bon voyage to Chips Ahoy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, bon voyage. Isn't there like formaldehyde and stuff in those
I don't
too?
know. Anyways, we cut you off completely. So you've lived a plant-based life for 4 years now. And then at what point during those 4 years are you like, you know what I should do is make these delicious creations that enable people with dietary restrictions to be able to enjoy the same things that people without dietary restrictions can?
Okay, well, that came about a couple of different ways. First, there's really a shortage or like a drought of good vegan or plant-based baked goods here in Los Angeles.
Totally.
If you just entered in Google Maps real quick, like vegan bakeries near me, which is, you know, like the obvious search to do, you're going to get maybe like 5 locations at best. And you're going to discover that maybe 2 or 3 of those aren't actual physical brick and mortar stores.
One's at Gelson's. One's no, probably not actually.
It'll be like, you know, like an empty parking lot that will actually pop up on Google Maps, and like you'll have to call someone and like place an order through like a, you know, a 1980s website that was like coded for Netscape.
Oh
and
man, it's called like Trunk Treasures, and they just pop it open and boom.
Yeah, you know, it just seems really sketchy.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna meet a guy in a dark alleyway to get your like vegan cookie fix.
So you've been through some things then, huh?
He had to do his research.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So there was obviously there's a demand for it and there's lacking supply. So, you know, where did you or you guys get the motivation to be like, well, let's just tackle this ourselves? I mean, how did that happen?
Well, last year, we spent a lot of time studying together. I mean, we're both students, and we would often study in coffee shops and places like that.
Okay.
And they might have 1 or 2 vegan products, and we'd eat them, and they were terrible.
Got it. Okay.
And so we decided, why don't we fill this hole that exists? And yeah, that's really what happened.
Okay. And so what steps are you taking now? You've created the product. What steps are you taking to actually fill that hole? I mean, you said you went to vegan coffee shops, that their stuff was crap. Are you distributing to those shops? Are you out there? Like, what's your distribution like?
Right now, we're actually looking to partner with local coffee shops in the Montclair area because
Cool.
that's where we're based. So
Okay,
we're going to start there.
Got it. Montclair people, Montclair, listen up, listen
Yeah.
up.
And so we're going to meet with a coffee shop called Augie's. Not this Friday, but the Friday after.
Cool.
So Friday next week.
What,
and
do you know the date for that? Because this will come out before then, and then maybe we can
gosh, I don't know what date that is.
All right, we'll worry about it. Don't worry about it.
March 16th.
March
Okay.
16th. It'll be in the
He
show
knows the
notes, guys. So check that out. And
Yep.
if you guys make it in time, get some delicious cookies.
Yeah, well, it's just we're going to be doing a tasting sampling for the owners and
Excellent.
at their warehouse. I think they're based out of Redlands, and they're going to tell us what they think.
Okay.
But so far, all their feedback's been really positive. They
Awesome.
love what we're doing, and they're trying to support us.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we're working to try to get in local coffee shops, and then we're also going to be selling on our website.
Great.
We're hoping to start pre-orders really soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone goes on when this episode airs, they're gonna have to wait a little bit, but they can get their name on the list and they can get on the pre-order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And then
Cool.
when do you expect to launch?
We're planning to ship our first fleet of orders out April 3rd.
Cool.
April 3rd.
Okay. So one thing that we always like to talk about is packaging. And there's so many, if I know you listen to some of our episodes, you may have caught some of them where we'll dive into packaging and how important branding is in packaging and all that. So have you already finalized your packaging and kind of your brand and how it all fits together, what you're going to put on the box, what you're not, or box or whatever it is.
Is it
You know
a
what I'm saying?
bag?
There's so many
Is
options.
it in a
There's
paper
so
bag
much you can do.
with,
Like
a stamp on it?
what was, are you, so
Which is cool.
just
I
a
love
quick
that.
yes or no, are you basically through all of that?
I'm gonna have to say no.
No.
No,
Yeah,
it's definitely not finalized.
That's okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, you're in the right space because we can introduce you to people that help with that, or you can keep running on your own. You actually you said you spoke with Matt, which is really cool. And
Yeah,
Matt
your
was
mentor, right? Like, what? Tell us about that relationship, because that's how you actually found out about the podcast, is from his episode.
Yeah,
right?
Matt from Idea House and Co. Which episode was it? It was a few ago.
Yeah, like
We'll
3
go
or 4 episodes ago.
That's cool.
You can find that episode in the show notes too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Matt's great. We actually met him at the Cal Poly Pomona Startup iLab Academy. I believe
Okay.
I said that correctly. He came and gave a talk, talked to us about product development and all of his analysis he does for people and how he's willing to give 30 minutes to practically anyone.
Yep.
It's a great guy, and he gave us those 30 minutes. I hit him up and I was like, hey Matt, here's our product, here's our idea, this is how far along we are, how do we get from where we are at point A all the way to the finish line at point B.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And he's been meeting with us about once a week, usually video calls, and we'll sit and talk for like an hour or two. And I feel like I'm bugging him too much because I'm texting him all the time. He's probably like, this guy keeps texting me, asking me questions.
He's pretty straightforward. I think he'd tell you.
Yeah,
to,
definitely.
just
He'll
to-
let
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but no, he's great, and he's super resourceful, very insightful, and he's always, I'm always learning so much from every conversation with him, even if it's just like a quick text.
Yeah.
I'm
Totally.
like, whoa, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Got it.
He really stood out to us from the beginning when we first saw him.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this guy, and I thought this is a guy who knows what he's doing, and with his company, he really takes startups from like the beginning all the way to actually selling products. So
Yeah.
I saw him and I was like, okay, this is a guy that we need to get to know.
Totally. And
Yeah.
the cool thing about, so the converse of that is that if he's talking to you once a week, he sees the same thing in you guys, So you should feel good about that he's taking the time and meeting with you and helping you advance your dreams, because he's very clear about the fact that he will shut people down right away.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you have a stupid idea, you can get out of my office. I mean, it's like, he will say that if he doesn't think what you're doing has value and you're not passionate about it. So if he saw that, seems to be an expert in reading people as far as their business sense, as far as their passions go, and as far as where their motivations lie. And you're scoring all 10s with him if you're still talking to him. So that's good enough in and of itself. And so that's great. You should be proud of that for sure.
Thank you.
And so where are, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, so, like, you guys have, like, you know, you've reached out to Matt as a mentor. Like, what it was, how valuable has that experience been thus far? Like, what kind of, like, is it, because obviously you guys are, like, saying such positive things about him.
Just any mentor.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
just,
yeah, that's what I'm really trying to get at. Like,
Oh, mentoring has been completely invaluable to us. I mean, he brings great ideas to us all the time because, I mean, we're both physics majors and we don't have that much experience in business matters. And so he brings insight that we don't have. And then we have a lot of other very experienced people that we're in contact with and that we can get great ideas from.
That's great.
Yeah, we have like a lot of mentors that are also helping us as well. There's this great community called SCORE where essentially
awesome.
like retirees are just volunteering their time. There's two that we work with pretty closely. One's called Al Pineda, another one's Robert Ozaki, and they're both great.
Sure.
We actually just met with them on Saturday to follow up on a few things that we're working on with them with respect to our business.
yeah.
How did you find out about SCORE? Because I know SCORE very well, actually. I know a lot of business owners who've used SCORE to, even before they started their business or during the whole process, they were successful having $1, $2, $3, $5, $10 million a year, and they turned to these SCORE guys. And it's mostly men that I've spoken with in SCORE, but it could be some women in there too, I guess. But how did you hear about SCORE, and how did you come to use them as a resource?
We found out about them through the iLab again
Oh,
at
okay,
Cal
cool.
Poly Pomona.
Go iLab, yeah.
Yeah, go iLab. It's awesome.
Dr. Sawyer is great. She runs the iLab and she brings on these SCORE mentors. And actually, Al and Robert were both there every week of this academy type program for the past 2 months or so. And towards the end, Al kind of approached us and was like, we think you have a really good product here, really good idea, and I think you're the people who can execute this. So, let's meet for some one-on-one mentoring, and like I'll get you in contact with Robert. And we met another guy called Howard the other day, and he was a banker.
Those are good to know.
And we met another guy called Don, and he had experience running his own company for a few years, and it's been great. Just the whole experience has been just a whirlwind of meeting all these different people from all these different backgrounds that we have no expertise in, and they're just willing to dole out their advice for free.
Now, was it this program where, because you guys entered a competition, right? Is this the same vicinity that like the Cal Poly, it was like a Cal Poly competition?
iLab
one?
Was it an iLab competition?
So at the end of the, I think it's called the Startup Academy, all the teams compete to see who gets judged the best. They brought in, I think, 3 judges who were, I think, local business owners, or they had experience like that. But we've also entered 2 other competitions. One is the Bronco Startup Challenge, which should be in May this year, with the first place prize is $10,000. And then we're entered into another startup competition at another school.
It's at CSU Fullerton.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also around the same timeline. I forget the cash prize, but I'm assuming it's on the same order.
I gotta tell you, I'm like smelling the cookies wafting like in the air. It is driving me. I'm gonna have to have another one.
We're definitely gonna be giving the judges cookies.
Oh yeah.
God.
Oh, it's like, is that cheating? Is that
It's a product demonstration.
that's right.
Sorry, I had to. It's just so delicious.
Chew off camera, D.
No,
Or off mic.
you gotta hear this.
It's a sound camera.
It's like one of those what's it called, those YouTube videos, people like whispering and chewing, like,
Oh, yeah,
what's
totally.
it called? I forgot.
I
what
don't
it's
know.
called.
ASMR.
Yeah, ASMR.
Yeah,
You get like really close to the mic.
yeah. Do weird. So gross.
So tell me about you guys you're doing all these awesome competitions. You're doing these amazing programs. The whole balancing aspect of being a student and trying to start up a business.
It's hard.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, it's very hard. I get up at like 4 a.m. every day, and the first thing I do is I email back everyone from the night before.
You're a business owner now. Yeah.
And I don't get started on my actual schoolwork till about 6 or 7 a.m.
Wow.
Sure.
It's amazing you wake up. What time do you go to bed?
Good nights, midnight.
Okay.
Wow. All right. You are already living
You're
the
crushing
true
it.
hustling life. Yeah. So
That's what I like to hear.
that's crazy. That's a terrible schedule. Good for you.
It's
Yeah.
a terrible schedule.
Can I ask? So we don't know. What's your guys' relationship?
Oh, we're in a relationship.
Yeah, we're in a relationship.
We didn't want to assume or anything. But that's cool. So how is it working with each other as well? I mean,
Because that's another dynamic, you know.
yeah, and
and-
a lot of our listeners, we've heard some different comments of people, and that's one of the things that's brought up is, I want to work with my wife on this.
Yeah,
or,
whether it's a friend, a person that you're in a relationship with, or someone in your family,
Yeah.
anything is along those lines. Have you guys had any? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like you guys get along swimmingly.
what do you fight about?
Tell us your deepest, darkest secrets.
There we go again. Yep. Oh, your cookies are so good.
I think it's a lot of fun to
Yeah.
really create something with like a person that you love.
Sure.
And
Aw.
it can also be
He was just staring at you, batting his eyelids. I was like, oh, this is the sweetest thing.
I'm blushing.
now you're making me blush.
Oh, yeah, you are blushing. That's right. This is great. Sorry, go ahead.
It can be difficult. We try not to discuss business in each other's houses. We try to always go out somewhere to work on it.
Cool.
We have like a rule. Either of us can just say like no more business after like 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Like if you're just tired of it. So you can't talk business to each other. You have to like email each other
Sure.
if you want to talk to them about something related to that.
I'm going to cut you off. That's incredible. How did you come up with that? Because most people think, like, you say it as if it's obvious, but there's a lot of people that don't know how to establish these rules. So who came up with that and how'd you do it?
I think one night I was just so tired of it.
You're like, shut up. This is a rule.
I just told him like no more business, and then just whenever I think maybe the next night I think I said it again, and it just kind of became a rule
Smart. Okay.
because I think we noticed how beneficial it is to just take a break
Nice.
and not
Sure.
just constantly be talking to each other about this stressful thing.
Smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. Okay, well, Sean, what's a rule of yours that you created?
Well, Lauren takes credit for that great rule because I was definitely getting on her nerves because I think it was like 10 p.m. at night when that happened, and she was like, so let's not keep talking about this anymore. And then I just got the hint, and
I kind of tried to make that rule with you, Chris.
It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
So what's one of your rules, Sean? You don't have to have one. It's okay.
I don't know if I have like any rules. I guess I just try to work hard every day as like a rule. Just try and give like all that I can.
That's awesome.
There's a rule that I recently have been trying to employ. I'm pretty sure it's pretty famous. Just heard about it because maybe I'm behind the times. But that 80-20 rule, I just got wind of it from my research advisor at school.
Pareto principle.
And I've just been trying to employ it, and so far it's working pretty good. No one can tell. I'm not doing the 100%, just skating by on the 80.
That's all you need.
So explain, one of you explain. I'm not super familiar with 80-20 rule, to be honest with you, but one of you explain what it means to you.
Okay, so essentially the 80-20 rule is do 80% of the work, and you'll reap like 100% of the benefits. So let's say you have to do, like an essay, like since it's school related, and you have like, 80 hours or 8 hours to accomplish this task. Excuse me, 10 hours to accomplish this task. Let's just make it simple. If you do 80% of the work, then you only spend 8 hours on it, and you're going to get pretty much like a perfect on that paper as long as you dedicate those 8 hours to it. there becomes a point after the 80%, after those 8 hours, where you're going to keep inputting more and more and more hours till it's like, 20, 30, 40 hours to get that actual 100%. But at 80%, you're fine. You're probably skating by at least at 90 to 94.
Sure.
And that's all you ever really need. And no one can tell the difference. And the bottom line is that nobody cares the difference between a 94 and 100%.
Exactly. And one of our past guests actually kind of brought that up. And then we actually just released an episode with Jared Smith from Impact Theory. And at the end, he mentioned, because I know this because I was just listening to the episode today. He mentioned, striving for perfect, you're not going to get anywhere. So just, if you just do that 80% and you're okay with that 80%, that should be good enough for you. Because if you can't strive for perfection.
Well, you can strive for excellence,
but you can't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You would never achieve anything if you were always waiting for things to be perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah. Preach.
Which has to be hard for people who are, math major, or what is it again?
Physics.
Physics. Yeah. even worse. So that's a fun dynamic, because, like you said, you guys aren't exactly business students, but you're making a business. What is that like? That's a
good point.
Have you thought about maybe shifting your studies, because it's gonna, like, what is that dynamic?
Well, we're both going to graduate in June, so we're probably not going to be changing our majors.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
But I first got interested in, businessy things when I joined this program on campus at Cal Poly Pomona. It's called the NASA Technology Commercialization Program.
Cool.
And so they take these various technologies developed by NASA and they try to commercialize it, and
cool.
the NASA gets a certain % of whatever profit you make.
Okay, that's neat.
So I was working on a couple projects with them, and funnily enough, neither of them actually used any NASA technology. I'll just put that out there, but it fell under the same umbrella. But I was working with a really diverse group of students, like business and marketing and whatever else. And I got to hear from them every day. I got to hear about what they were working on, and it was so interesting to me. And I was always I was doing the research, helping to develop the technology, but then I was also really interested in what they were doing, and it made me really excited about that. So I wanted to try it out for myself.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different than physics, huh?
Oh yeah.
Have you guys found ways to make that? Because besides naming your business after kind of like in that kind of realm, have you guys found any benefit from having an outside study
in physics plays on your
business?
Gosh.
Like the physics of how, like you said, the perfectly round cookie.
I definitely say that our background influences maybe some of the methodologies and philosophy that we have towards approaching baking. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more we try to quantify everything that we do. We're not in there freehanding things and just going oh yeah, sure, whatever, dash of this. And
I have heard that baking is whereas the broad all the other cooking is like an art, whereas baking is a science. And things have to be pretty precise in order to get whereas you can make a stir fry and it doesn't really matter. It's if
the stir fry is not going to taste as good as these cookies.
No,
I'll tell you that.
Well, especially with that same consistency.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say too. Is if you take a scientific approach to enjoyment, you're going to be consistently happy. That's why I want to keep eating these cookies right now, but I'm not going to crush the microphone.
No more cookies for you. Not until afterwards.
They're so good. So, as you're probably learning, or as one part of having a successful new product is understanding the market and maybe understanding your competition and knowing what you have on them, what's going to get you into Augie's that the competition, did I say that right? That the competition can't achieve. So have you done that kind of, high level, low level, whatever, broad analysis of what you're bringing to the table that other people aren't?
Well, we've done taste tests and we've beaten out all the other brands that we've tested.
That's
in,
awesome.
Taste, texture, appearance. I think that was it.
And the added benefit is that in these taste tests, we didn't even disclose that any of the cookies were plant-based or vegan.
That's awesome.
And every single one of them were. And ours was the least likely candidate.
Wow.
Yeah,
They thought that ours was
They thought
had some
yours was
stuff
the
in
only
it.
one that had all the
Exactly.
traditional cookie recipes.
Got that out of the Pepsi.
That is
handbook.
so cool. I get that because if you didn't tell me that it was fully plant based before I ate it, there's no way I would think
Yeah.
so. I'm just not trained like that. I'm not enough in the vegan world to know how good something can taste. I don't think anything. I mean, I have a lot of family that are like gluten free or that they prescribe to all that different, subscribe to all that different stuff, and I've never tasted. I want to hear, like, you guys make a chocolate cake. Like a chocolate cake, or what's next on the menu? Like, what's your first and second favorite things to make?
Well, my favorite thing.
So my
is-
mouth can keep watering. So,
My favorite to make is probably the chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun and they turn out great. I also really like making bread. I like making wheat bread.
okay.
Yeah, tastes
Awesome.
great. I just baked a loaf yesterday or the day before, I think, and it was amazing. I think we ate the entire loaf in one
Nice.
day.
Oh my gosh.
It goes great on, that classic millennial avocado toast dish.
I've heard this.
Yeah.
I have I call that douchebag pizza.
What? Avocado toast?
I didn't make that up. It was from a comedian said that one time,
Okay.
and they said they love douchebag pizza.
Yeah, I used to do a little douchebag pizza with egg on top of it every morning, and that was my breakfast while I was in college. Actually,
Sounds awesome.
however many years ago that was. Yeah. So have you guys worked on like pricing and things like that?
Yeah, we have pricing down.
Oh, you have it all down pat.
Yeah, so basically a box of a dozen of these chocolate chip cookies can be delivered straight to your door on April 3rd for the low price of $20
That's awesome.
Nice.
And how many come in a box?
a dozen, so 12.
Oh,
12
you said,
chocolate
sorry,
chip
you said
cookies.
dozen. Cool.
Yeah.
And that's plus shipping?
Yeah, shipping's
Whoa.
included.
my
Everything's
God.
included.
Wow,
That's pretty
So just a
Incredible.
flat
That is
rate,
incredible.
just a
Absolutely.
Mr. Andrew Jackson. That's it. That's all we're asking.
And that's cool because people look for, okay, so would you consider this healthy? I mean, I know that it's not as bad. It's not as bad. That's not even a fair comparison. It's like nothing as far as the material of a regular cookie. But I mean, could you actually consider this healthy, like good for someone? I mean, it doesn't seem like there's anything that's bad.
So that's a tricky question.
Sure.
Everything in moderation.
Thank God we have two physics majors in front of us to answer that tough question.
So, on the one hand, you can look at like our cookie versus another, like you just did. Like,
Yeah.
that's a great point. Put ours next to Mrs. Fields, and ours is better because you're not going to be getting all the butter and all the milk and whatever else, the eggs.
It's
that
on
they
a
put
whole
in there.
different level. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so there's that benefit because those things aren't the greatest things for you. But necessarily calling it healthy, no, because it's still technically junk food.
Okay.
They're-
I'm not gonna go out there and say eat a dozen of our cookies every
Forget your
day.
vegetables.
Yeah, no, you still need to eat your vegetables. You need to do all your your proper exercise and meditation or whatever it is. But having one of these a day is not gonna do anything bad to you.
one
'cause
and
it'll
four.
do a lot.
I'll do a
6 a
lot
day.
of, from experience, I've already had 2 in the last half hour and I feel incredible. I wouldn't recommend kind of, but oh my God. I mean, yeah, those are really, really, really very good. And that's responsible of you too, to not take they're healthy. They're not nearly as crappy as any of the crap food. So they're healthy, in comparison, but no, I think that's true. And I think the price is reasonable, especially for
Absolutely.
getting
yeah.
it to someone. So how's the competitive pricing? I mean, are you guys just right in line with competition? Do you know about that, or is that not something you've looked into? Or
I actually don't recall the numbers off the top of my head.
No worries.
But you can definitely order like our leading competitors online through their website, and you can get it delivered to your door. However, their products are prepackaged.
Sure.
And they're made in a huge factory and facility, and they have the whole like manufacturing process down and all that. And versus ours are, you know, made by us, 2 people, and
Right.
And you know, we really capture that like homemade quality.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, you know, like you guys mentioned earlier, we use like our physics and math, physics background to make a consistent quality product.
Sure, absolutely. So in like you said, it's just you two. Is there a plan for growth?
So right now we're just going to be selling to the LA area. At some point, we're thinking of partnering with a manufacturer, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
To scale,
upscaling with a manufacturer and a distributor, and the goal is to try and reach major supermarket chains. You know, hopefully, like within a year, you can pick this up at like your local.
Your local Amazon.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Not Whole Foods, yeah, but
Yeah, you know, Albertsons or Ralph's or things
Are they
like that.
rebranding? Or did you just
No,
say
I was
that?
just joking.
Okay. I was like, holy
they're,
crap,
they're busy getting into
Amazon's just
healthcare. They're not
killing everybody.
Yeah. That's incredible. So what would... No, I don't care about that. Never mind. I was going to ask something about like the splitting of your costs and everything, but I think that's great. So that'll be interesting once you get into scaling, because like you said, you know, that's one of the hard things that a lot of companies face, and it's a challenge. I was trying to say chase or phalange, but you know, scaling with integrity, scaling but staying true to your brand and staying true to the physics behind the goodness. You know what I'm saying? So how do you, and I'm not asking you, I'm just saying this rhetorically, you know, how do you maintain what is really a value proposition of your product, which is the fact that it's you two and you're, you know, not prepackaging it right now. And you are making them basically kitchen to table. Is that fair? Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's so definitely we'll have to have you back on once you've, you know, once you make your first million,
Navigated
which will
that whole
be very soon.
journey.
And once you've scaled up and see, you know, see what growth is taking place. But I think that's really exciting. I think you guys are going to kill it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure. And I know that sounds like a conclusionary thing, but I totally didn't mean that. I'm just caught up. I think this is really cool. And the fact that I'm hyped on cookies right now really helps things out.
The coffee is really good too.
Oh, yeah?
The mushroom coffee.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm
Four
definitely
Sigmatic
digging it.
mushroom coffee and get it at your local on our website with go to links and
We should just have like 14
5
products
o'clock.
on the table, and you could just constantly like, oh, it's a new toothbrush.
No, I had these in my car and I was like, wow, like, you know, coffee and cookies sound amazing right now, but I don't have a cup. You didn't give me any water, Dean.
I'm sorry. I know I should have. I felt really bad about that. Okay, so
I was thinking the same.
so you're both millennials, right?
Yeah.
Do you embrace that, or do you hate when people say that? Because we're like on the cusp.
We're in the middle.
Yeah, so
We don't have a
So
home.
we can kind of, you know, when people say we're entitled, we go, yeah, well, because we're devoted. But no, we're not like that. But what do you think about that? Like, just generally speaking, do you like the word? Do you hate it?
I guess I'm just ambivalent. I
Okay.
don't
Doesn't
really
mean anything
care.
to you. Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty indifferent to it.
Yeah.
I don't really think about it. It doesn't keep me up at night. The business keeps me up at night.
Sure.
That's you know, you really have. You're going to be successful. You guys are for sure going to be successful. And if not only for, because we've heard it and how.
About 40 minutes.
So we're going on. Yeah, we're over 40 minutes or something like that. And you know, you're in a good pool. People that are successful take action. They're devoted. They're passionate. They're motivated. And they use the tools in front of them. They don't make mistakes as often as they have to because they constantly leverage other people's learnings and other people's teachings and huge lessons all over the place. And you guys are so smart. And maybe it takes a physics major, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It definitely helped you out. But the fact that you're reaching out and you are, you started by, you started with kind of, passion. You saw something in that NASA program you were talking about that you were like, whoa, this is neat. Like, this is exciting to me, and I want to pursue this. And you took that, and then the two of you, came together and you reached out, you started looking for resources. You're like, well, this isn't really our strong suit yet, but let's make it our strong suit. Let's go out, let's figure out how these people that are doing great got there. And then you're leveraging all these different learnings and everything. And now you're acting on it. You're out here, you drove however long it took to get from wherever you are all the way out here to us to come on to promote yourselves and to tell the world or our audience and whoever else about something great that you're doing. You're taking action, consistently. You have meetings set up. You are out there doing it. Like it shows a lot of character, and it shows a lot of promise in your future. And I'm saying that because
Thank you.
yeah, and you deserve it. And I'm saying that because we interview great people all the time. And I always like to say this, we interview great people all the time. You are no exception to that. You are in that category. You are doing the same things that they're doing. You're just at an earlier stage than they were.
Yeah, and you're probably actually ahead of them when they were your
point.
age. You're right.
Totally.
Definitely ahead of me when I was your age.
Yeah. Well, it takes people a long time to understand any piece of all the things that I just said. And you are combining them like a perfect recipe. And no doubt you're going to, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
That was smooth.
Yeah.
And scene.
And that's it. Thank you for no. So what are you have some meetings set up. What does this look like in a year for you? If you could say anything is happening in 1 year, with Quants, what would it look like?
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's like a really, really scary first date, right? What's your 2 year and your 5 year plan and your
Gosh, well, hopefully we would have a solid subscriber base by then. I'd like to.
So by subscriber base, is that do you actually mean that you want people to subscribe and then have a recurring subscription? Okay,
yes.
that's good.
That's
cool.
That's our plan. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess we didn't make that clear.
That's okay.
Okay. So hopefully we'd have a solid subscriber base.
Okay.
I'd want to be in, let's see here, all the local coffee shops.
In Montclair.
In Montclair.
Okay.
I'd want to expand farther than that within
Like
the
Thousand
year.
Oaks.
Cool.
Yeah, like 1,000 Oaks, so you guys can have it.
Yes.
whenever you
What's the
want.
nearest one? So we got you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of really awesome. What's that?
Vegan?
Well, there's this one.
They don't have to be vegan.
I was gonna say coffee bean. I know that one pretty well.
There's a few really good small coffee shops in the area. I'll give you guys a list of the ones in the area so you can. I'll push it for you too. All right. Just as long as I get my cookies.
Well, you got you.
You can pay me in cookies. Don't worry.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so far in 1 year you have a strong. So do you know what a strong subscriber base is? I mean, if you had to quantify it, take a shot in the dark, real quick. 1,000.
1,000.
Boom, thought it. Okay.
Ooh.
Mind reading. I knew it. I was like, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice
so
round number.
we have 1,000. So if you have 1,000 subscribers, what does that mean? How many cookies are you putting out? Let's just say let's just limit this conversation to just cookies. And I'm sorry if I'm putting you on edge here, but so what does that look like per month as far as your guys' production?
Let's see here.
That would be 240 cookies a month.
Okay.
Shoot.
Sorry, that's impossible. So with 1,000 subscribers,
That doesn't sound right.
Doesn't sound right.
No, that doesn't sound right.
That yeah that yeah.
That-
That
yeah,
does.
they're each getting
1,000
about
times-
1/5 of it. No,
if they're all
Well,
getting
if
a
they're
dozen.
if they're only getting a dozen a month, and there's 1,000 of them.
Oh, so you're getting
12 times
12,000.
12,000. Yeah.
Okay.
12,000.
Wow.
so
Yeah.
12,000 a month.
I'm glad she's here.
So if it's 240. That was a shot in the dark. I like
I'm gonna
it.
have to talk to your professors.
It's okay. You're not mathematicians.
Yeah, I need to go back to class.
It's
Spending too much time on the business.
Too much
Right?
time making cookies.
Yeah.
Maybe let's take the 80 and throw in the other 20. Okay, so let's say that you're putting out 12,000 cookies a month. How many, if you were to stay up 24 hours a day for the entire month, how many do you think you could produce?
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, that's a good question.
Okay. Let me think about that.
So where I'm getting at, and you don't have to answer it, think about it while I am, but all I'm saying is that, so that means that in 1 year, you're probably going to look at expanding your production. Okay. So that's everything. So that's cool, because I doubt that you could make 12,000 cookies in a month and still sleep or anything, valuable like that. So that's fun. That's exciting.
Have you seen that?
I like that.
Have you seen there's I saw this contraption, and it might have been in like it's a fake contraption, but
Chris has his arms out right now.
it's you put your arms in, but then it has it's kind of like, it looks like a wings, but it just has other hands that go down the line, so everything you do.
Oh, totally. Yeah. That could be really dangerous, but
Yeah, well, there you go. There's your production. Right
okay.
there.
So I like that. Okay, so
Where can I get
I'll make an illustration. I'll make an illustration
yeah,
for everyone.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's not going to work for this, but I think it's very cool. Okay.
Bigger oven.
So that's a lot of cookies. That's so cool.
But
What about-
I could answer that 1 year thing.
Cool.
I think we could get bought out pretty easily.
Okay.
Nice.
I have like a number in my head that I don't want to disclose, but
Don't.
pretty sure that is an option that we can have within a year, and it's reasonable and it's modest. And I think that my idea right now is to not take that and to keep pushing forward, because
Okay.
I don't think I would sell this company for that.
Yeah.
I just enjoy. I'm just enjoying making the cookies, learning all this business stuff. Coming on this podcast, meeting you guys.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun, and I wouldn't trade it for a sum of cash.
Totally. And it's
Sure.
not about that. Look, it doesn't, I only ask what you're going to look at in a year because it's interesting to see where your heads go. Because a lot of people, when we ask that, they think of two completely different things. I don't personally know, what everything will look like in a year, and it's very hard to tell. But it is something that it just brings up a lot of interesting thoughts. So for me, when I talk to someone about what they're going to do in a year, I don't know. Not a lot of people really have put too much thought into it, but I like both of your responses. There is some certainty and there's some variance, and I think that's totally healthy. I think that's fair. There's always a lot to think through. You talked about, maybe buying it out, maybe licensing your recipe would be an option versus, giving away your secrets and everything like that and just selling it wholesale to someone. You could always license things out, but that's also something that the Score guys or Matt or, we can even talk to you about sometime too. Oh, I didn't mean to bang on that, but yeah, I mean, that's the other good reason to look that far ahead is a lot of what you're going to be building. If your strategy is, an asset sale or something like that, then you may want to build things a little bit differently to appeal to that. But all in due time,
Whatever.
Yeah.
Just keep giving me good cookies.
So good.
Yeah, it's just starting anything, because like Dean knows how I do things, and I just kind of jump in, and it doesn't really matter. I don't do any thinking. I just go and do the thing, and then I leave people like Dean to do all the thinking for me. But
that's
how I roll.
cool though. I mean, you leverage your strengths. Doesn't matter where you'll be in a year. I kind of said it just to mess with you, but it's like you leverage what you're good at, and then you do exactly what you've been doing to be successful to this point, which is you leverage other people's strengths, and that's something you guys have shown that you're good at. So you are smart. You know how to make some amazing things that people will enjoy. You know how to work well together. And there's a lot of other people that know a lot of other craft about a lot of other things that have already mastered it that you can turn to for them.
Now, is there something like that you guys have, like something that you're more skilled at versus you, Lauren, that kind of picks up the slack in certain areas, or is that are you guys just like it's so in sync? You guys do everything together like perfectly.
Wait, can we do this couple style? Can
let
you
her
both say what
answer.
the other ones are good at?
That's what we were
God.
thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, we're on the
I
same
know.
page.
Okay. So I should say what he's good at, and he's going to say what
Or
I'm
you think he's good
or-
at, yeah. Or what he's, yeah.
That's nice.
Yes.
Yes.
If you can
Okay.
come up
Like,
with something.
on
yeah.
the count of three? Or?
No, you just go. Go
Oh,
for it.
Okay. Well, one area that he's good at that I'm like totally lacking in is like financials. He knows all about that, and I know next to nothing.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I can't even go into detail because of my dearth of knowledge. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, just to be fair, he did say 240 cookies, and you had the math right. So your financials, if he's your financial advisor, we could set you up with someone with that. So. Sean,
When it's put in cookie numbers, it's totally different.
I was thinking about that.
A different unit, you know.
You know, the bad thing is that you're looking at someone who just applied for grad school for mathematics, pure math. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
I hope none of the universities I applied for are listening to this podcast right now,
I think it'll help your
or at least
chances.
until after they accept me.
Yeah,
Then
there you go. Then you'd be like, hey, guess what? Joke's on you.
I could have multiplied 24 together.
So what's a strong suit of Lauren's?
Lauren is an extremely hard worker,
Yeah.
and she doesn't give herself enough credit. She's always come up with great ideas, and she's always pointing out things to me that I don't think about,
Nice.
and she keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
You know,
You want to keep going? I think you can
She's
keep going, huh?
blushing over here.
You could probably
Yeah.
keep going.
I could keep going.
I don't know if we have enough
I could
time.
write
You
an
could-
essay, but yeah, she's great. And
That's sweet, guys.
That is sweet. Are you crying?
Oh yeah, I'm crying.
I wanted to answer a question from earlier.
Okay.
My favorite thing to make is the cinnamon rolls.
The cinnamon rolls.
I make a killer cinnamon roll.
rolls.
Yeah, I can. We could do a blind taste test with Cinnabon. I'll put them out every
man.
time.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
you probably go blind from the deliciousness.
Yeah.
Well, this is a lot of fun, and we can obviously keep going a long time talking about how amazing these cookies are for one, and just the experience of being like a startup and like you guys being so young. You have such a long journey ahead of you, a long journey of failures and wins along the way, and you're just gonna grow and grow and grow, and your cookies are just gonna get bigger and bigger.
not in size, but in territory.
Not literally.
Unless it's like a
it's a giant
birthday cookie.
Yeah.
What are those things called? There's a name for them, right? Don't they have them at restaurants?
Oh, Pizookie?
Oh well,
Or-
Pizooki's pretty good.
Is that what they
Something
are?
like
I mean,
I
I
don't
thought Pizookie was good, but it's like I don't even need the ice cream on yours.
Oh, do
Yeah.
Pizookies have ice cream?
Pizookies
on them?
are
Okay.
a I don't know, a very doughy cookie.
Yeah.
Now I'm so biased. I loved Pizookie half an hour ago. I'm like, sorry, BJ's. You're gonna have to talk to Quant's Bakery because they got you. That's
Yeah.
true. I mean, you guys. Oh gosh. I mean, it's such an emerging health, generally speaking, and lifestyle, and it's just. I mean, God, if you could just log into Chris's category or Chris's pool of crazy crap that he subscribes to, and it's all, and I say crazy, but most people follow his methodology versus mine. But it's like, it's such a great trend to be more health conscious and to be more aware of that, and it's just such a huge marketplace. I feel like you guys could just blow it up. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it's
That's a cool name too.
yeah.
What was it? Where the name come from again?
It was his idea.
Yeah.
I guess in the 80s, a bunch of people with physics degrees decided to go into finance and make a lot of money, and they were called quants from the word
Okay.
quantitative, I think. And so I guess we're physicists and we're going into the cookie business. So,
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Quant's Bakery.
Well,
bakery business. Yeah.
Well, with that, where can people find your information and like all your social media, your website? Where
I'll tell you where they
people
can find your cookies. It'll be in my mouth because they're freaking delicious. Sorry, go ahead. I'm floored on the cookies. Oh,
I don't want cookies from your mouth. I want them in my mailbox.
okay, tell us where we can find you on social media, on your website, where are the orders, when are the orders available, all that fun stuff.
We'll have orders up within a week
Okay.
of this airing.
Okay.
So you can go to our website at www.quantsbakery.com.
Quant's
Great, I
Bakery.
can still spell.
Nice.
And
Okay, got that.
our Instagram account is at Quants Bakery 1. And we also have a Facebook page at Quants Bakery.
Great.
And We have a Twitter account too that barely done any posting on at Quant's Bakery as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you'll be able to find all those links in the show notes of this episode, and it'll be 5o'clockhustle.com/quants. QUANTS, right? I nailed it. Okay, cool. And then you can find us all of our social media at 5o'clockhustle.com. And I hope you guys really enjoyed the episode. Go get these amazing, delicious cookies. We had them today, and there's not much else we can say about it that the fact that they're just delicious.
No, and thank you guys for coming on. We're so fortunate to be able to interview people at all different stages of their careers.
Yeah.
You are, without a doubt, the youngest, and I will say without a doubt some of the most promising people that we've interviewed. So, you should feel up there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
You're going to serve as an inspiration to a lot of people. So thank you for that, for sure.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Got my cookie.
Get your cookie.
Thanks for listening, guys. I'm going to eat this now. Okay.